There's our cross to bear right here. Here's our cross to bear right here. There you go. We're all supposed to go back. We're marching. Let's go, guys.
We're marching and we're hugging at the same time.
The ones in front get tear gas.
Students. Okay.
I don't wear these.
This may be a simple.
Where are you?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
I did get a call this morning from Mitch McConnell from the Senate, and he wanted to be here, but he's with us in spirit. And Grover called also and wishes the best. Like millions of Americans today, I filed my taxes. It was a little bit like having a root canal, not a lot of fun, but I was the beneficiary of a real windfall, and that is Bush-era tax cuts. So I saved a lot of money. Put a lot of bucks in my pocket, not a lot, but a fair amount. Bucks I really didn't deserve. A lot of other people, veterans, teachers, what have you, were not so fortunate. We think that one of the reasons that we're here today is that they're struggling, and we've been fortunate. Our overarching point is very unpopular. We believe that deficits do matter, in contrast with what certain vice presidents have said, and that in 2003, and I think it was 5, we were sold a bill of goods. We advocate going back to the Clinton era tax levels that were progressive. That will cost our group a fair amount of change. It's worth it.
Yay!
All right. Thank you. Alternatively, the Buffett rule has a lot of merit. We like the progressive approach with that sliding curve a little better, but we'll take what we can get. We think that is a spurious notion to say, if you can't fix everything, then let's do nothing. We want to pay our fair share, but we are absolutely appalled at the fact that the wealthiest cohort among us, the hedge funds managers, use other people's money, take 20% of the upside, but none of the downside, and get the benefits of capital gains. So they're paying 15%. Now, what does that cost the Treasury? My source here is The Economist. $17 billion, not chump change. It's not going to balance the budget, but guess what? It's half the HUD budget. That $17 billion could be used to house every homeless person in the United States in 4 years. I mean, that says something. Let's quantify it.
And our position is based on the simple idea of a shared sacrifice. We are a nation, not a group of unrelated economic interests. We have a huge problem and we all need to deal with it. While the President has proposed the elimination of the tax cuts on those making more than $250,000 a year, we urge the elimination of the entire Bush tax cuts, as its impact will fall far greater on those making 5%, the top 5% earners and above. And above all, a shared sense of responsibility by all Americans is what we really need for a true solution. In a word, tax us, all of us, and do it now. And thank you very much.
I'm a socially responsible investment advisor. I've been managing money for individuals and institutions for about 30 years, and I have been appalled at the fact that this country is being run by the wealthy and the wealthier. We were told when we were young that there are 2 things that are inevitable, you know, when you're a living human being. One is death, and one is paying taxes. But I looked at the corporation the other day and found out that, you know, not only do they not die, but they a lot of times don't even pay taxes. In 2011, 30 large corporations paid no taxes and received $10.6 billion in tax rebates after spending $41 million on lobbying expenses. Not a bad return on your investment in Congress, actually. Between 1980 and 2005, CEO salaries increased 442%, or 364 times the average employee's wages. Average employees' wages, by the way, went up 1.6% adjusted for inflation. The median CEO salary now is a little over $14 million. The ordinary working person, $45,000. Wall Street speculators absolutely create nothing other than, again, lots of volatility and enormous risk for our society. We can create billions of dollars in tax revenue and start taxing the people that almost drove this economy into bankruptcy. Yeah.
Grover Norquist is a lobbyist and founder of Americans for Tax Reform, has cataloged over 279 signatures of our national representative pledging to never raise taxes, and has almost single-handedly constructed an inflexible economic wall based on winning for a party and not for the people. We find ourselves with very well-meaning representatives who are shackled to their no tax increase pledge, some of which were penned over 20 years ago. But it's become impossible for these people to act according to their own conscience or even their own constituency without being threatened by Norquist. A Republican senator from Ohio said his driver's license expires, the milk in his refrigerator expires. The only thing that never expires is the Grover Norquist pledge. Now, you and I need to support these guys, these incumbents, whether they're running for office. That's why I'm asking for your help. We're all asking for your help. Sign a petition telling your congresspeople, your senators, that regardless of their party affiliation, you believe they should never sign a pledge that shackles them to an unelected official. In fact, they should sign a no-pledge pledge.
No pledge pledge! No pledge pledge! No pledge pledge! No pledge pledge!
This is a promise not to promise anything that would interfere with their ability to participate in bipartisan debate, but to negotiate in good faith to make compromises that consider all Americans. Ask them to please do again whatever it was that made us the most respected country in the world and to bring back our American dream.
I have often walked down Wall Street before, but these occupiers were not on their feet before. Their resentment roars on the trading floor, knowing here's where the 1% lives. Is there more than greed in the heart of town? Should you mount protests in any other part of town? Does compassion pour out of any door? No, not here where the 1% lives. But oh, the floundering feeling just to know our bailout is here. The overpowering feeling that any second a new debtor's in arrears. People stop and stare, they don't count, you see, for there's nowhere else these protesters would rather be. In the 60s I would be by their side, knowing here where the bailout resides. Hey Grover, can you spare a dime?